Hello, everyone. Welcome to another instructional video. Dr. Kimberly Green here. Hello, how you doing? With me, as always, is my partner in crime, Michael Hill. Say hello, Michael.
Hello, campers.
And then, of course, our hardy, trusty, handy dandy, one of a kind professional guinea pig, Dr. Lynn Larson. Say hello, my friend.
Hi, everybody.
So today, everyone, we're going to do a couple of different things, but please recognize we're focusing in on making sure you're empowered to communicate using media, particularly video, in your course in a fashion that serves you and your students.
Before we jump into the first couple of steps, I want to draw your attention that we haven't had a chance to talk about this yet, but the notifications up on the top of the Canvas screen. Notice that blue box up there on top. Canvas communicates with users as a large group up on the top portion of the dashboard there. And so you'll see a number of notifications pop up. This one is reminding Dr. Larson that she needs to set her notification preferences. You can click, you'll generally have an option to either take action. So here it says notification preferences. We can click on that and then set a bunch of different notification preferences for how Canvas notifies you when due dates come and go, when there are late submissions, all kinds of stuff like that happens. And you can set that up for immediate notification, a daily digest, many different options there that the Canvas help section will walk you through. But I just want to make sure that you know that Canvas does communicate with you that way. Nothing to worry about. Keep an eye on those messages up there, and sometimes the information is important, especially because Canvas, as we talked about before, Canvas does live updates, and so if it makes a change to things, they'll give you an announcement. I'll let you all play with the notification preferences, but in the meantime, let's go back over to the dashboard. And Dr. Larson, if you could take us into your class. Now, one thing I'm noticing here as I'm looking at this demo class is the title isn't as descriptive as we might like it to be. And we didn't talk about this much when we developed the course, but if you have a title of your course that makes it very clear and easy for students to know what it is they're getting into, that maybe describes the course more thoroughly. In this particular case, the title is truncated, and it may not be immediately clear to someone who's not readily familiar with the course content what it is. So I'm actually going to ask Dr. Larson to go ahead and change that. And we're going to do that by going down to Settings. And you'll notice that right there under Name, we can update that course name. So let's go ahead and make that something that's a little bit easier to digest. Fantastic. Okay, so let's go ahead and go down. Always remember to save on the bottom. So update course details. Now you'll see you've got a confirmation in green up there on the top of the screen. Course was updated, and we should be able to click back on our home icon or to the dashboard. We can see that it's updated there in the dashboard, or should have updated there in the dashboard. Interesting that it didn't update in the dashboard. Can you, would you mind refreshing there, Dr. Larson, on the dashboard? It has updated there in the course. It's these live little,
There it
there it
is.
is.
Yeah, I
Sometimes
just
maybe
need a
it
minute.
takes it just a moment. It's interesting. And this is, one of those things to keep in mind. Sometimes things don't work exactly the way you expect them to. A little refresh, a little bit of patience there can sometimes go a long way. So I'm glad I didn't walk us through all the steps a second time. So I'm going to go ahead and turn it over then to you, Dr. Green. We can walk through the process of uploading to YouTube, I think, is what we need to do next.
Yes, that is correct. So, Dr. Larson, can you click on modules first, please? Over on the left. Up, 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 up. There, bingo. When we talked earlier about making a video, we had said that we were going to make an introductory video. So we're looking at your Let's Get Started, and in that Meet Your Instructor area, can you please click on Meet Your Instructor? Super. So along with putting in a picture, which you should always do, never put students in a position of just having some faceless, allegedly voiceless random text person directing them, because it doesn't feel authentic. So at the very least, please always make sure there's a picture in your Meet Your Instructor area. But what's more powerful is to see you and hear you. So video is wonderful for this. We had spoken earlier about making your own video, and then we're going to post it in here. There's a couple different ways that you could do this. And this is where, before we started videoing this one, Michael and I had a discussion, and we've had this one before. When you make especially an introductory video, are you better off to post it into the shell directly? Are you better off to post it to YouTube and then embed it in your course, or post it in your own Google Drive and then post it in your course? Now, you've got these options, but here's the reality. At the beginning of your course, you don't know your students. You haven't had time to hear if there's any students who have audio processing issues. You don't know that at the beginning. With YouTube, there is automatic captioning. Now, it's not perfect, but it's much better than nothing, and it's far better than it used to be. One of the tricks with YouTube when you're making a video, and I know this is going to sound silly, but because the captioning software is based upon old military-grade software, it was originally built for the military, it tends to do better with the auto captioning when you speak in a lower timbre. And I say this with a kind of a smile on my face, because before I started doing a lot of YouTubes and really hearing myself, my natural voice is a little higher. It's up here. But because I do so many videos and put them on YouTube, I have gotten into the habit of speaking in this lower tone so that the captioning is better. I know it sounds silly, but it's the truth. So, Dr. Larson, I believe you have...
I had actually never heard that before.
Oh, yeah. And what's funny is I've had students in the past who actually worked on these types of things in the military, and they were the ones who told me this, and they're the ones who helped me come to the recognition. Yeah, isn't that hilarious? So if you would please, Dr. Larson, click over into YouTube.
The nice thing about learning how to do this in YouTube is that once you have the basic process down of using a YouTube embed code, you can embed all sorts of videos, and the process works basically the same way if you do choose to do a Google Drive video later, or if you're using an embed code from another site or for something else. Once you learn how to put an embed code into Canvas, you can do it with a ton of other things. So we come back to this idea of transferability all the time. Be prepared, because this process that we're going through here is very transferable.
Awesome. Thank you. You are spot on with that. Dr. Larson, can you sign into your YouTube account, please? Now, for anyone who has a moment of panic and says, I don't have a YouTube account. Well, the irony is you do. Because of your Brandman email, when you go to log in through your Brandman email, because it is connected to Google, which is connected to YouTube, because everything is connected to everything. So don't panic. You do actually have a YouTube account. So what we want to do is upload this video, and the way we do that is there's several different ways you can do this. So please don't think it's the only way. Dr. Larson, will you go click on your image in the upper right-hand corner, please? And go to my channel. Okay, and if anyone gets the little pop-up that says you haven't created a channel yet, go ahead and create a channel. Once you do, you'll notice the first thing there is uploads. So to add content, upload a video. Now, when Dr. Larson made her video, we had specifically asked her, save it on the desktop. That way it's just that much easier for you to find, or you can keep different windows open and drag or drop. But if you click on that big arrow right there in the middle, it will allow you to select, just like attaching something to an email. That way, if it's on your desktop, boom, 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 takes you 2 seconds to pull it up. Give it a name. Now, the irony is, beneath the name, it asks for description. Don't give too much of a description, like this is her introduction. Leave it at that, The more words you put in there, the Autobots will be searching for information. Just don't give them more information than they need. But there's one important thing we're going to do before she clicks publish. If you look on the right, please, right above where her icon picture is, you see that at the moment it shows public, that this video would be searchable and open to the public. Look across from public, you see a little drop-down arrow further on the right. We want this to be unlisted, not private, please. If it's private, then only people that you specifically give permission to can see it. Well, if you're trying to put that in a class, that won't work. Unlisted, however, means that it can't be found by search bots or anybody just randomly looking around for, let's say, the word CBM, but you can still embed it into your course, and anybody who clicks on it will be able to see it. So please remember this. Again, there's multiple ways to upload video, but on any upload site for YouTube, there will be this opportunity to choose whether you want it public, whether you want it unlisted, or whether you want it private. Your best bet is always to go with unlisted. And Dr. Larson, please click done. Now, here's what's great. You'll notice that you've got a URL there that you could put in the class and make it a hot link, and your students will be able to access it. That's awesome. But look up right under the title, you see share, and then to the right of that, grayed out, you see embed. Embed is a better bet because that way in the course, the students actually see that snippet of the video. So click embed and copy that, please. Everybody, hear me on this. Do not close this window. Leave it open until we've finished everything else. Leave this open in case you need to come back here. Now, Dr. Larson, without closing this window, please go click back into your Canvas window. Thank you very much. This is the page. Can you scroll down a little bit so we can see what all is here? Great. So we're going to add your email, your phone, your website, and we'll put this video up where it says short biography. Okay, so scroll back up, please, and click your edit button. This content here where it says use this page to introduce that whole, if I were you, or you could leave it as a reminder, you have the choice here, I would go ahead and delete that yellow box. You don't need it now. It was there. It served its purpose. Thank you, yellow box. Go away. There we go. Below this where it says replace your image, right below there, so if you can arrow down. There we go. Right here, perfect. This is where we're going to put that embed code. There's a couple different ways you can do it. Where your cursor is, put in XXXXXXX so it's easy to identify. Awesome. Now, look into the upper right-hand corner. You'll see in blue, HTML editor. HTML is hypertext markup language, blah, blah, blah. Okay, fine. It's the code that makes the website look the way we want it. Notice the XXXX that we just typed in? Yes, select that. Now paste in, just paste on top of that, the embed code. Awesome. Now click save. Booyah! There's your video. Now think about, let's do this one more time. Think about what we did. We made our video. We posted our video on YouTube. We grabbed the embed code. We came back to our Canvas page. We went into edit mode. We looked at our page and thought, where do I want this video to be for my students to access? And in that spot, we just XXXXXXX because it's easy to find. We clicked into the HTML editor. And then on top of where we had put the XXXXXXX, we simply pasted over our embed code and click save. Boom. And now we get to see what our students see. There's the arrow for it to play. Beautiful, you have just embedded a video. Now the captioning takes a little bit of time, so you're not going to see them right away. Probably in about 2 or 3 hours. When you go in to play it, there'll be the option in the lower right-hand corner for students who need it to turn on the captions. So, well done, Dr. Larson. You just literally put in a video with captions. Booyah. Took you about, 5-6 minutes? Well done, my friend.
Yay! Now, it's an alternative. There are multiple ways to embed videos in Canvas, and I'm going to give you one easy alternative. Dr. Larson, let's go ahead and edit this page one more time. Go ahead and click Edit there, and then let's delete the video. So I do want to say that I think it's really important that anybody who's working in Canvas, Blackboard, any online learning management system needs to understand how the HTML editor works. It's important when you're putting content up there to know what the back end looks like so that you can troubleshoot and tweak a little bit. If you're not as comfortable with how all of that code in the HTML editor works, there is a way that you can do it without going in to the HTML editor. And if you look right under the formatting menu up there along the top, you've got the option to insert a table on the left, and then you've got the second button, which is Edit and Insert Media. Go ahead and click on that one for me. This is a fairly straightforward way to put in any type of media. Just go ahead and click the Embed tab. If you have a graphic from the web, you can use this method. If you have any other type of video, you can use that method. Go ahead and paste your embed code there. And then click OK. And that performs the exact same function. Both do the same thing, both work the same way, and because the embed code is coming right out of YouTube, both will give the captions, both will present the video, and it will work just as well. So it just kind of depends on what you're more comfortable with and what you're more familiar with.
As we like to say, half jokingly but half serious, there's a reason why there's 31 flavors. Clearly, I'm far more of a rocky road, and Michael is far more of, chocolate, vanilla. I overcomplicate everything, but I like to feel more in control. I guess you could read far more into that. We don't have any psych students in this class, I hope. But so that's the point of us making these videos, and I hope everyone recognizes this again. We don't always agree on everything, but that doesn't mean one way is right and one way is wrong. So please don't be afraid to play. Don't be afraid to try multiple ways of adding things or designing things, as long as when you do make your decision, you're doing so mindfully, right? It's okay to play and see what's available and test this and try that. But when you make your final decisions as to what you want things to look like for your students, please make sure that you offer your students something that you really understand what you've done and why. And there's absolutely no problem and there's no shame in, let's say you've designed something and the students come back and say it doesn't work. Don't be embarrassed, because everybody in design, we may think when we build something, it is brilliant, it is fabulous, it totally makes sense, but it's not about us. It really is about the end user. There have been times where I've embedded stuff and I've come back and looked at the page a week later and students have said, there's so much on this page. And so I've actually pulled out the video and just put in the hot link to try and make the page look smaller because it was overwhelming visually. Don't ever think it's done. Michael, would you agree with that?
Absolutely. It's a constant process, just like any teaching process, where we're evaluating what we're doing, we're reflecting on our practice, and we're going back in and continually improving.
Awesome. Dr. Larson, what'd you think of this process? Are you comfortable? Would you feel comfortable doing this going forward?
I could definitely do this on my own. It is very straightforward.
Awesome. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for your time and your focus, and good luck putting the videos into your course, whether you go with Michael's fashion or my fashion, or you create your own. Know that this process, like he said, it's basically the same thing for Google Docs. Every video platform has the same kind of modality now. So you can decide for yourself, do you want to put a link in? Do you want to grab the embed code? However you want to do it. And thank you for your time and your focus. Enjoy your work.